Man, I think that's the easiest I've ever gotten online on both these. No, I'm not saying it. I'm not jinxing it. I got it. That's all I'm saying. I got it. Hi, how you doing today? Tasha, going good? Okay, good. Good morning, everybody that's on here. Leela, Emily, Lise, how y'all doing today? We got over here. What's up, Kathleen? Good morning. Hope you're having a fabulous day. And Jason and Dustin. Who else we have over here? It's going to be a beautiful day. Can't wait. We got to start it off on the right foot already, so that's a good thing. I'm not talking to myself, I promise. I am kind of, don't lie. All right. Well, we do. And I even answer myself. That's the problem. Sometimes we have full-blown conversations. Did you say that? I don't know if I did. Yeah, you did. I did, didn't I? It happens. Usually don't do those out loud, though, because then everybody looks at you funny. All right. I'm going to turn off this one loud game in here. We're going to be fired up. Everybody's there. That's
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's
I like that.
Well, another thing that's coming as soon as this weather calms down a little bit, paintball is happening too. So that's October, November type deal right there. So, all right, guys, it's time to get fired up. If I can have everybody's attention real quick, I'm just going to say a quick prayer. Father God, you are so good. What a beautiful, sunshiny day. I look around this room of amazing team members, God. My heart is so happy, and I'm so grateful for you being with all of us. I'm so grateful, God, that you are protecting us and guiding us and giving us strength and courage, God. We know that without you, we kind of wander. Lord, we know that when we ask, we lean in on you. We just ask that you be with us. Provide us clarity, God. Give us that peace of mind. And Lord, be with our families as we continue to provide and continue to work to be our best, God. Open our minds and our hearts up for this lesson today so we can grow stronger together, God, in our faith with you and in our community with the remarkable team members that you filled this room with, God. It's in your son's humble name we graciously and humbly pray. Amen. Right. So, man, I'm really excited about today. I got a lot of notes to talk about, a lot of things to discuss because we haven't been together for a long time, and I feel like I've missed everybody. So I'm very grateful to serve everybody with breakfast. Those of you that didn't make it online, the breakfast was pretty good for the most part. I might have burnt the bottom of it a little bit, but that's okay. That happens when you put biscuits at the bottom of a big casserole. So today, guys, I'm going to give you a highlight of what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about a little bit about the fall bash. Everybody's, thinking about that, kind of what challenges we're going to have there, like what kind of fun we're going to do. We're going to talk a little bit about, the deposits that we're making and how withdrawals can cause harm. Then we're also going to talk about some tactical stuff, the basics. So whenever we started this company almost 7 years ago, it was a very basic concept of taking care of team members and taking care of customers. And to do that, you follow a set of systems and processes that are supposed to be really easy and simple to follow so that we can replicate it over and over and get that consistent clean that other people weren't able to provide to customers. And by providing that consistent clean, then we can grow our culture and our community and our team by allowing opportunities and being around like-minded people. We can only do that because of the consistent quality we're able to offer out to our customers. And we can only do that because of the remarkable people in this room, the remarkable people online, and those of us that couldn't make it today for one reason or another. We are full of remarkable people. So we just want to talk a little bit about the basics and how to get back to the basics. So during our last video, we talked a little bit about, what is it that we're trying to improve on, right? We're, as humans and as people, as parents, as friends, as siblings, as aunts and uncles, we're always trying to be our best, even just for ourselves, because we know that there's somebody looking to us. We know that somebody might be having a hard day, or we might be having that hard day, but others are going to have one too, but they might be looking to us for courage. So we asked about what is it that we're trying to get better at. And I was really impressed by all the answers and all the responses we got. And what really sparked my interest most was that these weren't big, giant, grandiose ideas of things you want to get better at. These weren't giant, I want to be a multi-billionaire and save the world. That's not what we were talking about. We were talking about, I want to make little incremental deposits into being a little bit better today than I was yesterday. That was getting more sleep, drinking more water, finding a right routine and a rhythm, setting my mind frame in the morning. Something as simple as getting up and making your bed first thing in the morning. It's a simple victory like that really sets us up for success for the rest of the day. Something as simple as making your bed. Just because you said you're going to make your bed, you literally get up and make your bed. That is a total deposit into your personal excellence. That is a deposit into your self-confidence, right? So whenever you make these promises to yourself, and I'm not picking on anybody. I'm pointing out how human nature is. I'm pointing out the things that I go through all the time. And if I'm going through it, I'm sure other people are going through it too. I make all these promises to myself. I'm gonna go to sleep tonight at 10:30. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow at 5:30, and I'm not gonna hit the snooze button. All right. I'm gonna drink a gallon of water a day. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And then before I know it, those promises I made to myself, I'm not doing them. I'm not fulfilling the promises I made to myself. And when you're not doing the things, we're not fulfilling the promises you made to yourself, your self-confidence, your self-worth goes down. It goes down to the lowest level. So you say, I'm going to do this, and you don't do it. Your self-worth just goes down a little bit better, or a little bit more. You're not as confident in yourself anymore. So that's a withdrawal. So the deposits you're making is, if you say you're going to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, or you say you're going to go to bed at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock at night, you go to bed at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. That's a deposit into your excellence. That's a deposit into your self-confidence. That's a deposit that you need to make. You're going to get anxious. You're going to get anxiety. You're going to feel depressed. You're going to feel like you're not worth yourself because you kept lying to yourself, because you set these big goals and you don't even have the discipline to make the little goals. Guys, we start with the little goals. We got to start with the little goals. Set a goal for, waking up on time, or drinking a certain amount of water, or a certain amount of steps every day, or just make those little promises yourself and then keep them for a week. And then add another thing to it. Okay, so now I'm waking up early. I'm going to start stretching for 15 minutes. Systematically making a little bit more deposits and more deposits and more deposits. But what happens is those withdrawals. So that promise you made to yourself and you slept in, I'm going to hit the snooze button. I don't want to do it today. Nobody wants to do it today. I promise you. There's very few people, unless you're going on vacation, you get out of bed like, yep, here we go. Ha ha. Woo. That's not how it works. Every day it's like, oh man, it's so snuggly in here. I'm warm, I'm cozy. I just got out of this amazing dream where I finally fell asleep. I've been awake all damn night. And I finally fell asleep. Nobody wants to get out of bed. But you made that promise to yourself. And what I do is 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1, go. Boom. My feet hit the floor. Boom. 3, 2, 1, boom. I step in that cold shower. 3, 2, 1, boom. I make that phone call. 3, 2, 1, boom. I call it. You got to do it. It's just a game you play with yourself. 3, 2, 1, pound doing it. I don't care. It's a little kid game, but it works. But if you don't make that, if you don't wake up because you said you're going to, then you made that withdrawal. And that withdrawal, it takes away 10 deposits. It just happens that way. That withdrawal takes away 10 deposits. You don't want that fund to be a deficit. You don't want that investment account you don't want to bankrupt your account of self-worth. That's what I said. You don't want to bankrupt your self-worth by making those promises and not keeping them. Start small, get the little victories, make your list, be your best self. And over time, I promise you, over time, it gets a little bit easier. It gets a little bit easier. I don't say the world gets easier. I said it gets easier to keep the promises to yourself because you're systematically working through it. You're building the brain muscles and the capacity and the fortitude it takes to be your best. By systematically doing it over and over and over again, you're little by little, you're making yourself better. So keeping the promise to yourself gets easier. It's hard right now, I tell you, man. So the other day, I was at a meeting late, at a Masonic Lodge meeting, and usually they serve a delicious dinner. And I'm on a program where I can't eat after 7 o'clock, and I don't eat sugar, and I'm a very strict program. They served this little tiny rinky-dink meal. Man, I was hungry when I got done. This meeting was 3.5 hours long. So 10 o'clock at night on my way home, it's like, I'm just going to stop and get a burger. Man, I can't do this. I'm hungry. I'm starving. I can't make this. I'm weak. What I did is on the way home, I was like, you know what? Let me just try it. Let me just get home. Let me see if I get home and I can have some chicken if I get there.
And when I got there, I was like, let me just go upstairs and take a shower, see what happens in. And I just gave myself let me just try this. This little step forward. I didn't say, I'm going to do it all. I said, let me just try it. Let me get home. All right, let me get upstairs. Let me do this. I just took these little systematic steps. And then before I know it, I was done showering. I was like, you know what? It's not even worth breaking this. I'm already 3 days into it. I'm not even going to do it. That little deposit, because I took that little tiny step. I didn't say I'm going to do it all. I'm going to take this little step. A little step. So whenever you guys were making your purposes online or your posts about what you're trying to get better at, what little step can you make to make that work? What's the first little step, the next right thing that you can do to make that work? Just think about that. Take it in little baby steps. We've all heard the phrase, you eat an elephant one bite at a time, right? You're taking little systematic steps, but you got to start. You have to start. You have to do it. You have to try it. Well, it's just those little things at a time that really help out with that. Let's see. Man, there was something I was going to talk about that. Oh, yeah. So momentum. Let's hear. Baseline self-confidence is keeping the promises you made yourself. So the baseline is keeping your promises. That's a baseline self-confidence, keeping the promises yourself. And it's simple things like we talked about. Now there is a rhythm to self-confidence. There's a rhythm to self-worth, and there's a rhythm to momentum. So once you get that little baby step and you start doing it, that's that rhythm. That's that first start to that momentum. That's that first start to that momentum. Once that momentum keeps going, that's when it gets easier and easier. Now, there's a problem with that, too. That momentum can go the wrong way. So once you start sliding down, you say, I'm not going to eat sweets anymore. I have that cookie. Woo, my momentum's going towards cookies. Well, I know that whole damn pack of cookies is gone because my momentum is going the wrong way, right? My momentum went the wrong way. So momentum can be a great thing. It's a magnifier. Momentum is a magnifier. Think about it. Whether you're doing good things, it's like we talk about, you're going to attract to you what you're thinking about. Your thoughts are what's going to become reality. Thoughts are magnets. Momentum's the same thing. It's a magnifier. So whether your momentum's good or bad, you're going to magnify it. Again, that one cookie, that momentum turned into a whole bag of cookies. So y'all heard the momentum's a magnifier. You guys have heard when it rains, it pours, right? That's momentum. Momentum's a magnifier. You're magnifying the bad thing, so now it starts pouring. Same thing go the opposite way, man. When it rains, the flowers come out, baby. That's what happens. When it rains, the flowers come out. It's going to rain every day. There's going to be problems. There's going to be things. So it decides how you're going to use that momentum. Is it going to be good, eat the whole bag of cookies? Or is it going to be good and go upstairs without eating that whole bag of cookies? It's one of those. It's just that momentum is a magnifier. Momentum is a magnifier. When it rains, it pours. But when it rains, all the flowers come out. So think about this. You made a promise that you're going to go pick your kids up from school. Think about it. You made a promise I'm going to pick my kids up. You're going to say, I told them I was going to go pick them up. I love them a lot. So I'm going to get out of bed and I'm going to go do it. Because you don't want to leave them there, first off. But you said you're going to go pick them up. You love them a lot. That bed's really comfortable. It's no different in the morning sometimes on a Saturday when you want to wake up. It's no different. I made a promise to myself I'm going to get up at 5. I made a promise to my kids I'm going to go pick them up. Because I love my kids. I'm going to do it. You don't love yourself. You say you don't love yourself. So if you say you're going to do something for yourself and you don't do it, that's super important. Does that mean you don't love yourself? That means you don't have any self-confidence. That means you have any self-worth. That means you're not in the right mind frame. That means you don't love yourself all the time. But you systematically made these withdrawals of not keeping the promise to yourself over and over and over again. So now you have no self-confidence. And before you know it, that turns into anxiety. And before you know it, that turns into depression. And before you know it, you're in this downward momentum spiral that's not serving you. It's not serving you to be your best. Does that resonate with anybody? Has anybody done that? Or is it just me up here that's broken and trying to figure it out? And we've all done it. It's momentum. It really is, man. I need it simple for me because I got a very simple mind, man. It's like stop or go. That's it. There is no, you can kind of move a little bit. It's stop or go. It's very simple. So I got to keep things simple in my mind. Momentum, power progression, moving forward, making those little deposits. Make more deposits than you do withdrawals so you don't bankrupt your self-worth. Keep the promises to yourself. And what this all boils down to is keep the promises to yourself. It's really simple. And showing up is just half the battle. Everybody says, well, showing up is half the battle. Nah, man. Showing up is the bare minimum. Showing up is the bare minimum. That's bare minimum. We don't want to be bare minimum people. We want to show up, but then the next step is you put your best effort. Whatever that best effort is, we talk about it all the time. It might be great one day because you're firing all cylinders, you're feeling real good, you drank your coffee, you're feeling good. So you're firing all cylinders, you're giving your best. And that best that day is super productive. You feel really good about it. The next time, man, you didn't want to get out of bed. It's one of those days where I just want to lay here. But you still got out, so that's a great thing. You made that deposit. You got out of bed. You got there. You showed up. That's the minimum. Now you gave it your best that day. Now you might only be 80% of your best the day before, but it's the best that day. And that's okay. That's okay. None of us are perfect. We don't have this all figured out. We're not all going to fire on all cylinders at all times. But that day we gave it our best. And that's not just about work. That's about showing up for your life. That's about showing up for your family. It's about showing up for your friends. That's about being a good example in your community. It's about all these things. It's very simple. Just got to keep doing that. Showing up isn't half the battle. Showing up is the bare minimum. Giving it your best effort is how you win. It's how you become the best version of yourself. And at the end of the day, it's all about fulfillment. We've talked about that a lot. It's about fulfillment. And when you feel good about yourself, you feel fulfilled. When you made deposits in your self-worth and you executed, you feel fulfilled. When you did that one time when you woke up and you did that object today and you didn't want to, how good do you feel yourself after? It's like when I woke up the next day and I didn't eat, I was like, damn, I did it. Everybody else would have gave in. That's when everybody gives up, but I didn't give up. This room doesn't give up. The people online don't give up. We do our best at all times because we constantly think about this. But again, that can't be misconstrued as being perfect. That is not perfect. I always say I want to be perfect, so I want to keep all the promises I made to myself because I'm in control of that. But I haven't succeeded yet. I'm just the same as everybody else. I sometimes don't want to do stuff. And I sometimes let that little voice in my head, that little squirmy voice, allow me to take over. I don't like that. So just keep your promises to yourself. Always work on being your best. Work on being fulfilled. And think about it is, if you're keeping the promises to yourself and you're doing things you say you're going to do, then you know you can keep the promises to other people. You're not going to be that person that lets somebody down. You're not going to be that person that promised your parents you're going to take them to a doctor's appointment and don't show up because you don't want to get out of bed that day. You're not going to be that person because of these little deposits you're making, because of this journey that you're on about being your best. And nowhere did I say that it's going to be easy, or nowhere did I say that you're not going to fail, or nowhere did I say you're not going to struggle, because it's going to be like that every day. But as we always talk about, struggles are always going to come. It doesn't matter what you're doing this, or you're doing something else, or you're doing anything else, or you're fishing, you're going to have struggles. It's just going to happen. You just got to be aware that they're going to come and focus on the solution. We don't focus on the problem because they're going to be here no matter what. We focus on the solution because that's what's going to carry us forward, because our thoughts are like magnets. What we think about, we're going to attract. If we think about problems, what are we going to find? Every red light. We think about solutions, we're going to find those rainbows and those flowers that we're looking for. So pay attention to those things. So that is the lesson a little bit today. Woo, that was a lot. I talk fast because I love this stuff. This is probably the best thing. I mean, it's what keeps a smile on your face throughout the day. Really, it's the difference between having a good day and having a bad day. It's just setting your altitude and setting your attitude first thing. And the only way I can do it is by thinking about it all the time. The only way we can do it is by taking a beautiful Saturday, got their hearts pumping, and everybody's out moving around now. The only reason why we can do this is because of you guys. So thank you guys very much for helping on this journey, for being inspiration to those that are around you, for being a remarkable team member, for performing at elite levels, and most importantly, for serving your family. The basics. We got to make sure we're clocking in and clocking out on time, right? This is the fun part that's very tactical that we need to pray. And everybody in this room knows it. Everybody online knows it. But from anybody that might be new or anybody that might be kind of slipping away from a little bit and making those withdrawals from their personal excellence, let's reel everybody back in. It's about showing up on time. It's about doing the basic things. Now, here's the thing. If you get there 5 minutes early, you want to leave 5 minutes early, cool. That's no problem. If you get there a little bit, like 5 minutes early, that's fine. You don't have to just clock out. But at the end of the night, you don't have to stay there the whole time. Let's all watch him blow his nose real quick. But at the end of the night, if you're 5 or 10 minutes early and you're getting ready and you're done with everything and you're building consistently clean, you're doing a good job. If it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that's fine. If it's anything more than that, you got to call Night Hero and say, hey, I'm all done. Can I leave this building? The Night Hero's going to know, well, that building's on red or that building's on yellow, or we've had some problems in the past. No, let's do this. Or they say, yeah, cool, man, everything's going good. So we have to make sure we're making that call. If you're going to leave early, let them know. If it's 10, 15 minutes early, 20 minutes early, you got to let them know. 5 couple minutes early, that's fine. Now, going over the time, can't have that. Going over the time, we always talk about, I want you to stay on the site for as long as you're scheduled because I want you to make everything that we allotted, that we told that customer we're going to be. This company doesn't need to make any more money, any less money. We need to make our margins so we can keep the doors open, so we can keep the games open, so we keep these meetings going fun like this. I don't want to make any more. So if you're scheduled, if you're going over, we got to have a conversation. So if I don't want you to leave stuff, so if they're having a party that day and it's extra messy and you need to stick around, no problem. I get it. No problem. Call Mike, call Angie, call one of the Night Heroes and say, hey, look, they had a big fiesta. I need to stick around. Is that okay? Absolutely no problem. They make a note in the app. Leanne can see it the next day. So when she sticks in time clock, she's like, oh, I'm backing this one out. Or I'm backing this one out. She can see it that was okay. So it's okay to stick around late, but you just got to get permission to do so. That's all I'm asking because, yeah.
One other thing.
Yeah.
Don't forget, I can see exactly where everyone clocks out at, down to the 100th block, where you're at, longitude, latitude line. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
If I don't call you out on it, it's because it's not habitual. I get it. Every once in a while, you might be down the hook. You know, but I can tell, or I can see everything.
So anybody online, Leanne just mentioned that. Remember, whenever you're clocking in and clocking out, the app is geofenced. So when you're using the app, it shows where you're at. So if you're clocking out off location, it zeroes it down to the 10th of a block. So we know where you're at. So pay attention to that thing. Now we have problems, and that's when we want to fix it. Again, we're back to the basics. Clocking in, customers complain about something. That means we should have spent that extra 5 minutes to perform an extra special. Or we should have walked the building one last time to make sure we didn't leave a rag out. There's always something we can do, right? But I don't want you sitting there and watching the clock like this with 1 foot out the door and doing like that, because that's not productive either, right? Just get the heck out of there. If it's 5-10 minutes, just get out of there, right? No, there's no sense in that. But don't make it habitual. Do the right thing. And I'm talking to the crowd when I'm talking to this room, and when I'm talking to folks that actually tuned in live. Everybody's on the same page with that, but it is a problem, or it is a concern enough to where we wanted to bring it up today. So back to the basics. The second thing, back to the basics, is we had this conversation at the Night Hero Huddle, and Angie and I and Mike, we were always talking about basics, because back to the basics to me was back when I was cleaning buildings. It was very basic. And then when I brought Angie on cleaning buildings with me, we had to be super simple, because then I told you it's stop or go. It's red or green. There is no gray area for me. I'm a very simple guy. I had to keep it very simple. So the basics that we created were that checklist. The checklist has evolved into what it is right now. It's evolved over time to be a simpler tool for us to use. So now there's been a common trend amongst the night heroes that whenever they come back and say, okay, so what's going on? How do they know their specials? Everybody's, when they ask them about special, when we're asking our team about specials, everybody says, well, I just do specials every night. We got way too much time at the building. And so if you're doing them every, I ask the night hero, say, okay, let's go look at everything. If I find something, you're not doing them every night. So then we're going to go around and find something. So don't say, we just know what our specials are. Do our specials that are assigned for that night. And when we have extra time, do extras. That's fine. But do the specials that are assigned that night, because what that is, that's a rhythm. That's that momentum. We know exactly what they need to fill in. And if you just had edge hodging, I'll do this one this night, this one this night, I'll do this one over here. I'll move this one over here. If you need to move something because you know your building, let us know. We can change the checklist around. So when somebody else comes in your building, they know what's going on, because you guys know your building better than anybody. But we want that consistency. Back to the basics. Follow the checklist. It really is. It's built their way. So whenever you get done at the end of the month, every part of that building has been touched. Every concern that we've heard over the last 7 years that customers talk about has been touched, because it's on that checklist. Everything that we've learned from our team being remarkable has been built on that checklist. And it's not, again, I guess it's not everything, but it's not perfect. But guys, we have to go back to the basics. Just follow the checklist. Follow the clocking in and clocking out. Pay attention to your supplies. Back to the basics. Back to the basics. We are only ordering supplies 2 times a month. We're only ordering supplies 2 times a month. So that means you got to forecast out a little bit farther in advance of when you're going to need your supplies. And whenever you are ordering supplies, I don't want you to put your math wizard hat on and say, well, there's 45 people in here. They might use a 1.5 foot of paper towels every day. I'm going to need 2 cases. We don't need that. All you got to do is, if you need paper towels, just put any number in that box. I don't care what number it is. Our team knows the buildings and how much it uses. We can look at records. We know how much to order. So if you need paper towels, don't say I need 10 boxes. I don't care what you put in. You can put 100 boxes in there. We're going to send what needs. If you need, it's just that simple. So you don't have to think ahead. You're thinking about how long are these supplies going to last me that I have left. And then once we restock, and then you're just going to pay attention to that again. How long are these left are going to last me when I leave? So just pay attention to your supplies. First and the 15th, or first and the 15th basically is when we're ordering supplies. And then once we order them, it might take 2 days to get to you too. So pay attention to that. We're really trying to get more efficient and back to the basics, because as we grow and as we have more opportunity, as we take on more customers, our night heroes need to be more efficient, right? So, and they need them right away, then they're going to go around. Yes, sir.
I got something small to enter into that. So I work actually furniture, as you know, and I'm not trying to like get the clients in trouble or nothing like that. But some of them warehouse guys and other people use some of our racks.
Yeah.
Like they grab some of the green ones or the yellow ones, and they use them for dusting the furniture or whatever in the warehouse before they take them out after they get done assembling them. Yep. And so I see them laying around back there in the back, and sometimes out the front where the sales guys are. So, I'll think that I have a certain amount of rags when I leave, and then I'll come back, 2 days later, and there'll be 5 less than what I thought I had. So.
And so what Matt just mentioned online is if our customers are going to use our supplies too. So it's really hard sometimes whenever we're only there a couple times a week or once a week to try to monitor those supplies, especially when our customers are using them. I get that. I get it. Totally understand. But they're not going to, there should be enough stock to where them using some shouldn't deplete us to where we can't perform the next day. So even if you come back and you say, well, I had a stack of 10, now I have a stack of 5. It's okay to put it in now for towels that you're going to need them now, because next time you come back, they might have used up the ones that you didn't have a chance to use. So you just got to they're going to use our vacuums. They're going to use our supplies. They're going to use our chemistry. It's just important that we know that they're going to use it, and we know how much they use for the most part, right? It's not like odd one day. There's no perfect standard or no perfect form for this. In my heart of hearts, Leanne knows it. I wish I was a robot and everything would just go, that's how you do it. And it's easy, but it's not. There's so many variables. There's so many challenges. There's so many human elements. There's so many other things that factor into this. So we got to take the average of everything. So yeah, that's a great point. Just try to, maybe next time whenever Mike brings some towels and say, hey, man, bring me extras or something, so it can help with that burn or that void. So your building, your customers, kind of think strategically how you can work through to add, to prevent that from happening, basically. So, and that's what Angie just said. We don't know if the customer's using our vacuums while we're not there too. So it's a good reason to check your vacuum bags before you start, because our vacuums are our tools. We keep care of our tools. They'll take care of us. And it makes the job so much easier. If you're out there, your vacuum doesn't work right, we talk about it all the time, you're working extra hard and getting paid the same money. It ain't worth it, right? We want to do our best and get this right. So back to the basics. Clocking in and clocking out on time, being in our building on time, navigating the building properly, getting the trash. Why do we get the trash first? Get eyes on the building. We can walk our building. We can put eyes on our building. We can make sure we're the only ones in there. We can make sure nobody's going to creep up on us. We can see which areas are heavily used and which areas haven't been used. It allows us to plan our night. So we're just two functions. I love multitasking, man. We're getting trash and we're putting eyes on our building and see what's going on. That's two wonderful things that can happen at the same time. So put eyes on your building by getting trash. Get all the trash. That way you're putting eyes on all the buildings. So that way you know where you're going to focus all your energy at and what needs to be happening. And then we're going to go, and while you're getting trash, make sure you're back to the basics. Pull that chair out. Pull that chair out because you're going to be vacuuming underneath there. So keep it out. So that way, whenever you're done vacuuming, you push the chair back in. That way you know it's done. You know underneath the desk is done. And then you move to the next task. So get your trash first. Pay attention to your specials next. Clean your bathrooms third. And then follow your rhythm after that. So that's kind of the way we do it. So any questions on back to the basics? Did I hit everything, Angie? I look at Angie because, man, Angie knows back to the basics, man. It was 15-minute increments. 15-minute increments, man. It had to start that way. So the last thing that I have is we've got a lot of opportunities coming up. We've got a lot of projects that are getting ready to hit the books. And to be honest, I am concerned that we're not going to have enough manpower to cover the amount of opportunities that we have coming up. Just to be simple. So if anybody's looking for anything extra, if anybody's looking to come on full time, if anybody knows anybody that's remarkable that needs to join this team to provide for themselves and to be around like-minded people that are on a mission to be their best, if you know somebody like that, bring them in. You get a $100 referral first off, and secondly, you get to work around other cool people. How it's a win-win for that. Because again, this is our name and our reputation. We're wearing our Clean Impact swag. They know that they're dealing with the best. They know that they're dealing with professionals. They know that they're dealing with people that are going to take care of them, and they know that they're proud of them. So we need to follow up and have lots of people that way. I thought, looked like you were going to say something. Nope yet. Nope. All right. So we have a lot of opportunities coming up. So if you need something, let us know. If you're looking for more, let us know. If you know somebody awesome, let us know. And it's just a great opportunity for us to be our best. It's a great opportunity to continue to provide for our families and a great opportunity to be a good example for those that are looking to us. So guys, I just encourage you, whenever we're taking over new things, just be our best all the time. Whenever you find that rut and that rut that you're in, that valley that you're in, just know that there's always going to be ups and downs. Just let it go, man. Let it go. Focus on the solution because we got lots of stuff happening, and we can only get better by being around like-minded folks like that's in this room right now, and I'm just so proud of it. And that's really all I have. Does anybody else have anything they want to bring up? All right, man. This is, I guess that biscuit gravy sitting real low. Everybody's tired now, huh? Well, the last thing I just want to talk about is the fall bash real quick. So fall bash is going to be fun. If you have any great activities or ideas that you think about that people would enjoy, let us know. Not just for the kids, but for the adults too, right? We want to keep everybody entertained. And it's hard when you got a room full of 100 people to keep the conversations flowing and keep moving. So It's going to be a good time. We'll still have the hay rack rides. We'll still have the bonfire. We'll still have s'mores. We'll still have the weenie roast. We'll still have home cooked food. We'll still have the fun things that we're used to. The arcade will still be flowing. We got a new game that'll be here before then. I'm excited to introduce a new game that we have coming. So
Can we try to make a pumpkin launcher?
we can try to make a pumpkin launcher. That's not a bad idea. I would worry that I've seen those things where it comes back and hits my right in the face, man. And it just looks like it would just shatter your whole face. Yeah. Hey, the thing about that is you can't get a dummy like me make a catapult or something. Somebody's gonna get hurt. Yes. What do you have?
There's a game that you take it and you fill it with whipped cream. You ask the question. You get the question wrong. Slaps you in the face.
So the suggestion about whipped cream in the face, I think I'd be the recipient of lots of those. I don't want to do that. Yes, the little one up front with the curly hair.
You can also use the upside down guy.
Oh, that's a fun game. The upside down. So we will have an idea of some games, maybe some trivia going on, just some fun stuff. So I think it'll be really fun. But so it's going to be Saturday, the 28th of October, 26th of October, from 4 until 8ish, somewhere around there. We want to get dark so the kids can ride around the woods and everything. Be a good dinner. It's open to family and close family like that. So
Macy's birthday is the day before.
we're gonna celebrate a birthday. It sounds like too. Where's she at? She's in there. Ooh, I'm hot. Yeah, it is. So fall bash. So now we've got some stuff to give away here for adults and kids. So if we draw your name, come up here and draw an envelope. There's some money in it because everybody likes money, and we do like little plastic trinkets. Adults and kids. Okay. So there's 3 for the kids and 5 for the adults. Let's do the kids first. Aurora, hey, all right. Come on up and pick an envelope that says kids on it. And then you got to draw a name for the next one. Who's doing anything exciting this weekend?
Me. Yard work.
What are you doing that's exciting? Matt Jr. Come up here and get an envelope, buddy. Thank you. Who else is doing something fun that doesn't involve me having little kids in my house?
Kids envelope. That says kids. That says kids. Which one you want?
Oh, that one. All right, you gonna draw the last name? You draw the last name? Oh. Paisley, grab your sister. All right. All right, now to the adults.
You go get yours, Paisley. It says kids on it.
Draw a name out here.
Get the kids one.
Angie.
Yeah, yell real loud so she. Yippee!
My lunch day, right?
Danera.
Danera, all right. See, another reason to come. Natasha, all right. So I think at the fall bash, we will actually have gifts to give away because it's kind of our Christmas party. So we will actually give away gifts at that one. And money too. Terry. Is that what you said? Oh, Terry K. Terry K. What's that? Just 2. Yeah. Yeah. We were just talking. The third Terry just actually reached out to me the other day. We had just talked about her. Jessica, table mates, man. How'd you do, guys? Oh, and that's the last one, too. Coming out today. Thank you for sharing your Saturday. Thank you for being remarkable. Thank you for yelling at the Eagles. Guys, stick around as long as you want. The woods are open. The trails are nice out there. We still use them every single day. The arcade will be open. Wait. We have mums back there. These mums that are out here are for you guys to take home with you. Everybody can have a couple of them. Or if you have a customer you want to give one to, take them for the customer, but have 2 of them for yourselves. And then whatever you want to take for the customers too. So we haven't watered them yet today. So that way they're not dripping all over your cars and everything. So, yeah. We might have mums left for all you remarkable people online. You might be able to come in and grab some mums. I'll let you know if it's still there. Mums! Goofball. In that, I think we in that.